This episode is brought to you by Amazon Prime. There's nothing sweeter than baking cookies during the holidays. With Prime, I get all my ingredients delivered right to my door, fast and free, no last-minute store trips needed. And of course, I blast my favorite holiday playlist on Amazon Music. It's the ultimate soundtrack for creating unforgettable memories. From streaming to shopping, it's on Prime. Visit Amazon.com/Prime to get more out of whatever you're into.
I am literally so mad at myself. I am pissed. Guys, this is going to have to be another short podcast episode today. We're here with Connie Babani. Hi, Connie. Oh, I'm not even doing my intro right. Let me tell you why I'm pissed. I'm so pissed off because I typically walk with a lavalier mic or lavalier, lapels, Dave Chappelle. I typically walk with the Dave Chappelle mic, which is basically, I have two of them. I have a wireless one that I plug a device into my phone, the receiver, and then I walk around with the mic wherever I want to go. And then I have one that plugs directly into my phone with a cord. And I typically walk with them. So whenever I want to capture content on the go, I have it. And recently I've been walking with it because my content on the go has actually turned into I almost said journalism. Has turned into journaling because your girl is now a professional journaler. I have been journaling for years now, like literally since I was 9. I didn't realize it was called journaling. I would just always see people on TV, my age, tween years. I would just see people on TV being like, dear diary, blah, 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 blah. And I wanted to do that. I thought it was like just so cool. And so I'd always write in a diary everything that I was feeling. And as I grew up, I kept doing that. And then it changed from writing into spiral notebooks to just like anything, like notes app on my phone, a Word document on my computer, and I would just write how I was feeling. And what I've landed on is voice recordings, because I remember this episode where Alex Cooper said her therapist told her, just record podcast episodes for yourself. That is a way of journaling. Journaling is simply documenting your feelings, and that could be in the form of podcast episodes for yourself. And so I always have a mic on me to get better sound quality for my phone, but nothing too crazy, right? Because we're just journaling. Well, I've had to extend my stay in Houston. So I flew out to Boston to go to a nun's graduation, and now I'm back, doing laundry, because I only packed enough for the trip because I expected to be driving to College Station as we speak. It is 6 p.m. I expected to be driving to College Station as we speak. Hey, guess frickin' what? That didn't happen. My cousin is now graduating tomorrow from the Dobie High School. She's graduating on Wednesday at NRG at 7 p.m. Okay? And I don't mind giving out all the details because this is going up on a Thursday. So she's graduating at 7 p.m. at NRG. And so my mom was like, well, stay, go to your cousin's graduation, your little cousin's graduation. She was at yours. And I was like, fair enough, as my little cousins are getting older, would love to get to know them in their adult years, because, I'm sorry, this is going to be another conversation, but I would like to get closer to my cousins as they get older. And so I said I'll stay. So now I have to do the laundry because everything that I wore on the trip in Boston, I now need to wear in Houston. Problem number 2, I brought no podcasting equipment because I was like, I'll be back by Tuesday. That gives me enough time to record and edit a podcast episode. Hey, no, it doesn't. Because I leave Thursday morning, and now that I have no school responsibilities, no schoolular requirements, there's nothing stopping me from having a stable schedule for podcasting. So I need an episode going up on Thursday, and it was either give y'all an old episode, take the L, take the bad audio, record it on my phone. So I start looking up and down for this mic, only to realize that I decided I didn't need the little mic. Because I was like, oh, why would I do that? I'll be back. So I have no camera, no mic. All I have are my over-the-ear headphones with a microphone. And the mic on that sounds worse than my phone because they're gaming headsets. So you just need to hear someone. You don't need to necessarily hear them very good. And I'm just so pissed off. I'm so pissed off. Anyways, run the intro. That wasn't even a good place to run the intro. I just said run the intro. Okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. Now run the intro. Nah, see, I'm not even going to run the intro right here anymore because you said that like you were the boss of me. Like you said that like it was me telling it to myself or something. And I don't really like that. I don't like your tone. I don't like your tone with me. Just because I'm sitting here editing this podcast doesn't mean you get to speak to me that way while you're recording. That's crazy. That's crazy. So because of that, I'm going to make this audio quality even worse, and you got to figure it out. So yeah, past Brianna, figure it out, girl. I'm going to run the intro where I want to run the intro. In fact, I'm going to run it right here, right now. Welcome back to the Distract Me Please podcast. I'm your host, Brianna Silva, and today I'm here with Connie. Say hi, Connie. Connie couldn't care less. I am here with Connie in the living room in the most carpeted area with cloth all around me, trying to muffle the sounds of me doing laundry in the background. Because as I explained in the intro, your girl has no mics. Now let's go right back to the topic of I don't like kids. And I was saying this because I was like, I want to get to know my little cousins in their adult years. I don't like children. I don't think I want to be a mother. When I was a kid growing up, everyone just like, as a woman, expected you to be good with kids and to be a housewife and like be a wife. And one day you're going to take care of a husband and babies. And so I always had little baby dolls and they're my favorite toys. I love taking care of my little baby dolls. I love playing with Barbies. I love the thought of me being pregnant, being a wife. And I just lived in this very La La Land dream world that literally got stomped on, I want to say by high school. And so now I'm in this world where I'm back to like a more adult version of I want to be a wife one day. I'm taking my relationship seriously now. I only want someone who's going to care for me in the way that I'll care for them. Great, found that. Do I want to be a mom? Do I want to be a mom? I turned 25 in technically like 6.5 months. Oh my God, it's like 20 something. By June 15th, it'll be an exact 6 months. So yeah, roughly, because right now it's May 21st. I turn 25 in 6.5 months. And I always said if I wanted to have kids, I'll have them in my 30s. I don't know what it is. I do know what it is. I've just seen so much online and in person, bad relationships of people getting married young, having kids young. I understand and I respect people who say they want to get married young, who say they want to have kids young, because I also understand the idea of, I'm literally going through it right now with my mom, where she had me at 32. And because of that, there's a 32-year age gap between me and my mom. I know I'm going to have less time with her. I'm very aware of that. There's so many things that I picture in my future. And sometimes I do stop and ask the question, like, will my mom be around? Because, like, I'm thinking of this, like, in my 50s. Will my mom be here? When I'm 50, that lady's going to be 82. She's going to be 82. So all I can do is cross my fingers and hope for, like, a long, healthy life for her. And I think she's also gone through it because my grandmother had her in her 40s. My grandmother was 41 or 42 when she had my mom. So very lucky that my grandmother is currently 99, coming up on her 100th birthday. And that is what has given my mom a very long time with her mother. Being an older mother, you don't get that time with your kids. And so I'm very aware of that. But I really do want it because I just think there is so much more patience and enjoyment of having a kid when you're older, because just from what I've seen, by the time you're that age, you want a kid so bad because you're so well into adulthood, well into taking care of yourself. You want a kid so bad that you'll have them at any cost, basically. And you're willing to do anything because you want this kid so bad. In your 20s, I know it is not a general thing because I know there are people who are like 16, 17 having kids and wouldn't change it for the world. Like literally wouldn't change it for the world. Would not reverse time and wish to have their kids later. And I know that story exists. And I literally see my one of my closest friends, Kayla. Her parents, I think she said, like, had their first kid. I want to say they were like 18, 19, got married around that time, had their first kid, and they're still happily in love together. They're now 3 kids in. Like, I know this world exists where you can be young, have a family, be married, and be happy and live a very fulfilling life. I just don't think it's for me. It's so funny to hear that, like, girl, that sounded like a door opened. Honestly, it's a wasp nest outside my room at this point. There's a gigantic wasp nest with like 30 wasps on it. And I was like, Mom, there's a wasp nest outside my window. She was like, go outside, take a spray can and like spray them and poison them and kill them. Because we have the hornet spray. And I literally looked at her, looked at that nest. Okay, I looked at my phone because I called her. I looked at my phone, looked at the nest and went, absolutely not. They're going to band together, lift me up and kidnap me. Absolutely not. One thing about me, I cannot do a bug with a stinger. Bees, wasps, hornets, forget it. Baby, that is a sewing needle on the back of something that can fly very fast. And I don't know if you've ever been stabbed with a sewing needle, but it hurts. And on top of that, their sewing needle has venom that makes their stings hurt twice as much. Not to mention, because of that venom, so many people are very, very allergic, like deathly allergic to bee stings and wasp stings. I'm allergic to chicken. I'm allergic to acetaminophen. I'm allergic to dust, pollen, pet dander. I'm allergic to every kind of grass there is. And I've just learned that I'm also allergic to avocado, bell peppers, possibly latex, but that latex allergy isn't that intense. I just found out that like I'm allergic to everything else that comes with the latex allergy because like the latex plant, like the rubber tree and avocados and bell peppers, like all these plants and bananas, all of these plants have the same chemical that people typically react to. And I'm allergic to bananas, avocados, bell peppers. I haven't reacted to kiwis yet, but apparently kiwis is on the list. And I haven't reacted to latex. But I also don't know if it's because I grew up in the generation where they switched like using latex things in doctors and dentist offices. So I don't know if I've just not been introduced to latex that often to know. Moral of the story. For everyone who makes fun of me, if I get stung one day and I go into anaphylactic shock, I don't want to hear it. I protected myself from not being stung and like, forget it. Anyways, moral of the story, absolutely not going outside. How did I get on this topic? I was talking about not liking kids. I don't like kids. I don't like kids. The older I get, the more I realize I don't like them. Because, one, a kid is a really big responsibility. It is up to you, and as a community, to protect a child, the innocence of this child. This child doesn't know what car insurance is, health insurance. This kid is simply here to be a kid and to enjoy life, and you have to sit there and walk them through the steps of processing emotions like sadness. And their sadness are over things like a broken mechanical pencil, because that's the hardest thing that they've gone through in life. And when you don't sit there and take that broken mechanical pencil seriously, it can really cause some damage to that kid because to you it's like it's a goddamn mechanical pencil. Shut the hell up. Like, why are you crying? Why are you crying that Sarah in your class got so jealous of your mechanical pencil that she took your mechanical pencil and snapped it in half? It's a mechanical pencil. Let's go to the store and get you a new one. To that child, that is the first time that they have loved something so dearly and watched someone so cruel take it out their hands, snap it in half, and say, you'll never have this because I don't have one, and walk away and make them the star joke of a classroom. That was that child's first heartbreak, embarrassing, shameful moment. For you, it was a normal Tuesday. And that's going to live inside that child's heart. And so you have to sit there and help them process emotions because it is their first time on this earth. They don't know how to move their hands. They don't know how to eat. They don't even know how to use a toilet. You have to potty train a child. You have to potty train a child like it's a dog. I remember at my cousin's baby shower, they're like, give some advice to the new parents to be. And everyone's giving like solid advice, like sleep when the baby sleeps, feed them, change them, cool things. And I literally wrote, I don't have a kid, but I've had plants and I've had dogs. So water it and put a leash on it. Like... But tell me that's not solid advice. Give that baby water, and when it's in its terrible twos, I say it, like I don't literally see my nephew running around. He's 2? Oh my God, he turns 3 this year? Oh my God, he turns 3 this year? T. And when he's in his terrible twos, put a leash on him. Keep him close. Stop shaming parents for having leashes on their kids in stores. Yeah. Keep that thing in sight. Keep that thing in sight. I don't want to see a child running circles around me. Oh my God, put that thing on a leash and let's go. Not to mention kidnappers out here. Oh my God, kidnappers. People have no shame in their game and they are snatching kids left and right, sex trafficking kids, pedophiles, the horrors of being a child. The fact that there are literal adults out here who want to do nothing but evil to children. Put a leash on that thing. Because every time you feel it tug, you know it's at the end of that string. I'm so serious. So I don't like kids. They're just too much responsibility. The household responsibilities, I don't want it right now in life. I don't want to run around cleaning up after a child. I want years of peace and organization of just me and my man laid up making our mess together and having a pet and having that pet's mess, because pets are truly not that messy. But a child, a little demon on 2 feet, that one day, whether you're paying attention or not paying attention, moves from sitting stable and can barely hold up its head to one day standing up and just walking. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I do not want the patience and the responsibility, and not just that, but the emotional responsibility of a kid. A kid is not an accessory, and I don't want that in life right now, and I don't know if I'll ever want it, because every time I think about that, I lose my mind. I think about there could be such sweet moments of little accidents that make me giggle, like my child and my husband running around and accidentally breaking a glass table in the house and giggling about it because, like, how are y'all that stupid to break a glass table? That's so funny to me. Those are simple things. Those are material things that can be replaced. Okay, a bookshelf falls on my child. My child's in critical condition. I now have to go to the hospital and make sure my child is alive. What? I have to take care of myself. I have to make sure I have a strong enough will to live that I see out the full extent. That I see out the full extent of my lifespan. That I die by a disease or I die by old age. And not by my lack of a will to live. Hey, found out from Danny. Hi, Danny. I saw Danny today and I'm seeing Danny tomorrow. She's coming with me to my cousin's graduation. Oh, that's why I want to learn my cousins as adults. Because I'm no longer the responsibility of, when someone's a child, you are responsible for their emotions. You are responsible for their actions. You are responsible for them in every way, shape, or form. The second you're an adult, I am no longer responsible for you. It is now, hopefully you had great people around you who taught you how to be responsible for your emotions, how to take responsibility for you yourself and let things go when people are mean, how to let it go, how to clap back if you need to clap black, how to clap black, clap 3 times if you're black. The thing is, I snapped, and that's crazy. That's the 25% of me jumped out. That was crazy. I don't have 2 hands. My phone is in my hand recording this podcast episode. Clap black. Why do I keep saying that? Clap back if you need to clap back. Like, hopefully you had the mentors around you to figure it out. And if not, happily here to offer advice for you to go figure it out. With a child, you don't send them along their merrily way to figure it out. You figure it out for them. And at a certain age, you figure it out with them, but it's more like 70% of you figuring it out. Not me doing the math. 30% them figuring it out for themselves. And that percentage just keeps changing as they get older. So I feel like I would love to learn my adult little cousins now. That's so fun. We can go to like the store and get nail polish and do each other's nails. That was the lamest thing ever. No, let's be honest. They're all close enough to 21. We can go to the liquor store and we can get bottles and we can go to parties together and we can go clubbing together. Because they are family and because they are younger than me, I'm probably responsible for them if they get in any type of legal trouble. So I'll have to be on the lookout for that. But other than that, would love to learn my little cousins at their grown age. Hi, Connie. But that's besides the point. So I'm going to my little cousin's graduation tomorrow. I doubt she listens to my podcast. I hope she doesn't listen to my podcast. If any of my little cousins listen to my podcast, I would pass out. I would genuinely pass out because I'd be spilling tea on my life in here. Anyways, next topic of conversation. My dog is a nuisance to my life. My mother's calling me. We have to pause.
And as we pause, just remember, guys, that you can always leave comments on Spotify in a little Q&A section where I say, use this as a comment section. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, rate for 5 stars. Can you like, follow, and subscribe? I don't know, man. Follow the podcast. Rate this podcast 5 stars. You can do this all during this waiting period. It was a long phone call with my mom. Also, I can't even hear myself speak over the sweet music because I left the volume turned all the way up. So it sounds like I'm talking underwater in my headphones. Thank you so much.
So, yeah, I don't like children. And now I'm going to finish this podcast episode off because I actually do have to go. I hide this evidence. This is not even a joke. This is why I said if my little cousins listen to my podcast episodes, I would pass out. I would pass out. Snitches get snitches. Snitches get snitches. Wow, snitches get stitches. Like, what is this? I have so many people in my life who listen to podcast episodes. I recently found out that a lot of my friends' parents listen to my podcast episodes. I'm so sorry. This is who your kid is friends with. I do fully apologize. I promise I'm a great person at heart. I'm sorry if I terrified you by saying that I have 3 drinks a week and 1 heavy night of drinking once a month. I am a responsible child. All this to say. So here's the story that I left y'all off on a cliffhanger with. I literally edged y'all. I edged all of you. When the other day I said, 2 days before I walked the stage, my professor tried to kick me out of college for plagiarism. So, guys, as y'all know, I went to Austin for Dear Media. And while in Austin, leading up to Austin, I was trying to I tried to turn in my assignments early as much as I could because I wanted to spend more time with my boyfriend in Austin. Once I was like, oh my God, he's coming to Austin with me. I wanted to try to get a lot of assignments turned in a lot quicker. When I just thought it was by myself, I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to spend my time in the hotel room cramming all these out. Finding out that I now like get to share this Austin experience with someone, I was like, okay, let's crank up the heat, right? So I started working on assignments way in advance. And with this, that was the first time in college. Literally started all these assignments like April 30th, maybe like April 25th. I started trying to crank out these assignments early. And that was the first time. And I graduated May 9th. That was the first time, starting April 25th in my college career, that I've ever started assignments that early, like days early. Like to me, early was waking up at 6 a.m. and starting assignments when they were due at midnight that same day. That was early for me because I was such a person who was like, due tomorrow. And so I actually got to take my time with assignments, and I actually got to take my time and make them better and put all my effort into this. Because of this, for 2 of my final essays for classes, I got to spend a lot of time doing more research than usual. I've always felt like my essays were trash. Girl, where's the transition sentences? Girl, what? I've always thought they were trash. I got to really take my time and dedicate time to my essays and really type them out. And that first essay, I made a 65 on it. And I was like, oh, so much time and effort and research and rewriting and revisions. 65. Second essay. This was a philosophy essay. Oh my God. Babes, I'm talking about not only, so typically I would just like look up the sources that I need for the essay, use those sources and keep going. I used those sources. I used extra sources to understand the material from the sources. I used every bit of Google Scholar that I could. The Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy, Spark Notes, oh my God. Reading in depth, analyzing the information in these papers, typing it out, staying up till, literally pulled an all-nighter for one of them, didn't go to bed until like 5:30 in the morning because I had to pack to go to Austin. But I stopped writing at 4 in the morning. Came back, reread it, revised, added transition sentences, all that good. All of it. Added so much to it. To the point that when I turned it in, because I semi-understood, and I say semi because I'm starting to learn with philosophy, the more you understand, the deeper the layers to it go. And so I semi-understood what I was talking about, and like I really went in depth with the topic that I was researching, and then I was trying to make what the information in my brain translate on paper, and not just that, but create a good solid argument for it. Because a lot of the things in philosophy is you can end up running in circles with your arguments, because a lot of these arguments don't have final conclusions. And that's really hard for someone who enjoys math and science, because there's a solid definitive answer. No if, ands, or buts. This is the answer. Depends on what field of science and math you're in. But like there's still like one solid, simple answer, one conclusion. Sometimes. But in philosophy, like 9 times out of 10, 99.9% of the time, there's not a definitive answer. And so when I turned it in, I knew I put my heart and soul into that paper, but I still wasn't feeling that strong about the content. And I just sat there and was like, oh, all I need is a 70. Like, I really put my heart and soul into it. Like, literally even ran it through Grammarly to like help me work out the kinks of the paper after putting all this time into it. Shipped it off. We didn't leave the hotel room till 5 p.m. the next day. Like truly put time and effort into this paper. And before I wrote the paper was when I was doing research. And as I'm writing the paper, I'm doing more research, right? Hey, 2 days before I walk the stage, so May 7th, I get an email that I don't see until 7 p.m. because I go to my best friend's apartment, and I was looking for an email for something that I needed to complete, and I was like, oh, let me see if they emailed me back. Let's see what they said. Just for top of my mailbox. Hey, they did email me back. I did figure all of it out. I forgot what the hell I was trying to get emails for. just to see. Hey, Brianna, with screenshots, ran your paper through an AI checker. Can we hop on a Zoom call so you can explain why 86% of your paper was written by AI? Heart attack, on the floor, screaming, hyperventilating. My best friend Cameron's looking at me like, are you good? I'm shaking, I'm trembling, I'm crying. There's blood and sweat and tears coming from my eyes. I'm getting kicked out. I don't have my computer on me. So I look at her and I go, I need to buy your computer. I read her off the email really quickly. She basically tosses the computer at my head. I catch it. I run to her bed. I jump in. I do an end goal. What is it? I do a touchdown dance, right? An end zone dance. I log in really quick. I respond to him on my phone. I'm like, oh my God, yes, sorry, just seeing this because he sent the email at 2 p.m. I'm opening my emails for the first time for the day at 7 p.m. Oh my God, just saw this. We can hop on right now. I can 1,000% explain everything to you. What am I explaining to him? What? Because then I sat there and asked myself, how do you prove yourself innocent? I guess an AI checker. How is this not just hearsay? I'm about to enter into a debate, and my competition is a robot. Are you effing kidding me? A robot that is claiming that I used a robot to write my paper. I'm sitting there and I just think back to the TikTok that I saw roughly a year and a half ago of some girl who was put in the situation where she wrote a paper 1,000% by herself. And then she got sent to the honor board because her paper got flagged for being written by AI. And she was like, sorry, I have good grammar and use amazing words and like I'm such a good writer. I didn't do that. And she said the only thing that saved her was the history version in Google Docs. I instantly go to Google Docs and I open it up. And so then he sends me the Zoom link. We hop on the Zoom and he's like, okay, hi, how are you doing? I was like, yeah, so sorry. Just saw your email, just opening your email. He was like, yeah, no, it's fine. I just want to give you just a reason. I just want to give you a chance to explain yourself because I do take this seriously. Why is your paper saying that it's written by AI? And I was like, I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Shut the hell up. I'm telling a really cool story. The only thing I can offer you is my Google Doc version history. Like, that is the only thing that I know for sure is like physical, tangible proof to prove my innocence. And he was like, okay, go ahead and share me on my Google Docs and I'll check it tomorrow to see how I feel. And I was like, okay. What the hell, Ben? He can wait. It's just Ben. And so as I'm sitting there, right, he's like, by any chance, did you use Grammarly on your paper? And I was like, yes. And he was like, okay, I think that's the issue. And I was like, what? And I was like, I know Grammarly added the AI extension feature, but is this really going to ring up as like my paper was written by AI? It turns out the answer is yes. I got to talk to other college students in line while waiting to walk across the stage to hear my name called for graduation. Yes, it does. In fact, it's actually common knowledge. That wasn't very common to me. She's very beautiful to me. It wasn't common to me. Be careful using Grammarly on your college essays. Write all your essays in Google Docs. So that way, when people start, she used Grammarly. Her paper is written by AI. It's written by AI. Oh, that's illegal. I'm sending you to the honor board. My professor didn't sound like that. He was actually really nice and really sweet about it. He gave me a 91 on the paper, moral of the story. But use Google Docs to write your essays. So that way, when AI checkers start falsely accusing you of using AI to write your papers, you have your evidence. And that's the only thing I can offer you, because that is what saved me. That is what got me out of it. He said if he is satisfied with what he sees, there will be no consequences for an AI checker. Zero GPT at that, which then really made me upset because I was going to be like, okay, I didn't say this to him because I need all of us to sit here and understand how this sounds. I have used Zero GPT to double check work because I wanted to know how reliable AI checkers were, because sometimes I have dark thoughts of using AI. And so I threw an AI generated paragraph into ZeroGPT, and ZeroGPT came back and said, this was 100% written by AI. I was like, ooh, caught me. So then I wrote my own paragraph, threw it into ZeroGPT, and I didn't just like write out, me, mama, moo, me. No. I actually sat there and wrote a paragraph that I felt like would be worthy enough to put in a paper, because I genuinely was curious and I was having dark thoughts as a college student. I threw that in and it came back and said 50% of it was written by AI. Boy, that's when I knew it was BS. And then I was like, you know what? It is easier to argue my way through my own written content than GPT written content. Because obviously, if AI is writing it, it's saying it's 100% written by AI. If you're writing it, it's not saying it's 100% written, but it's saying like a majority of it is written by AI. So like you could figure it out, right? Process of elimination. And so after that, I was like, okay, these things aren't reliable. Like ZeroGPT isn't reliable. So to see ZeroGPT, I was like, I'm going to fight ZeroGPT. But yes, use Google Docs to write all your essays. The version history in Google Docs is going to be the only thing that saves you, because it was the only thing that saved me. Peace and blessings out there, y'all. I need to go. I just need to go. She's going. She's leaving. She's out of sight. She's popping bottles. What is it? Popping bottles in the ice like a blizzard. When we drink, we do it right, getting slizzard. Anyways, all this to say, not only am I fly like a G6, but I'm on a G6 right now. Feeling fly like a G6. That's it. Yeah, we're done. So that's my story on how I almost got kicked out of college 2 days before walking the stage. Due to plagiarism. Anyways, popping bottles in the ice. Feeling so fly like a G6.